Hi all, I'm Vladimir, you're watching the BimDoc channel. Today it will be a really short video about how to disable startup system on new G series. Today we'll be working with that G20. I have already made that kind of video on my channel previously. Actually it is in Russian, so if you do speak that you can see that also, but now I'm making that in English. The principle will be like exactly the same on majority of the F and G series. There will be some smaller differences in what ECU that parameter is located you need to disable, but no worries, we will cover that all. So stay tuned. First, what is startup system and why it's good or is it bad? It was made in order to fit into the ecological requirements. If your engine is not working, it means that the engine is not producing any exhaust gas. That's why the eco norms are lower. So, does the start-stop system actually save your fuel? Yes, it does, but there is way more cons than pros of that system. Basically, every time your engine is being shut down and it's been run again, the battery is drained. Also, your starter gets way more load. Your timing chains, they get also way more load, and that's why, yes, you might be saving some of your fuel, but the disadvantages you get from that system are way bigger. That's why majority of the BMW owners prefer to disable that system. And today we will cover how to code out that system, but not basically just the code out and forget about that. I'll show you how to make that with the memory. So if you would like to use that system, you can continue using that, and if you don't like, you can just turn it off and it will stay off until you turn it on. It is really convenient. So let's go to the car and see how does it work. So we're inside the car. That's the newest G20. So what is the start-stop system and how does it work? Basically you can see that button. So basically if the light here is on, it means the system is turned off. Basically if you'll be staying behind the traffic light or whatever, your engine will be not shut down. If that light is turned off, then if all requirements are met, then the engine will be shut off in order to save some fuel and produce less exhaust gases. So what is the problem? Basically, if you turn off the system, make a drive, you shut down the car, go off the car, go into the car again, and you just turn on the car, and you can see the system stays active again. So it doesn't remember your last choice, and that's the problem we'll be fixing today. So what we'll be using today, basically we need some kind of interface in order to connect to the car. Today I'll be using ICOM Nano. It's meant to work with F and G series. Instead of that, you can also use Ethernet cable. It looks like that one. So basically it's very cheap cable, around maybe like $20–25, and you can do that job also with that. So you don't need to have Nano, you can use cheaper Ethernet cable. Also, we'll definitely need to use some kind of Windows-based computer, and the program we will be using is e-sys. In addition to that, not just a plain e-sys, you'll also need a launcher for that, because otherwise you'll be not able to make FDL coding. In that video I'll show you step by step where to press, how to press, and so on. But I will not cover the full functionality of the program I will be using. On my channel I already have that kind of videos. Yes, they are in Russian, but if you have interest or in that kind of topic, so basically how to work with the e-sys, just hit a like and make a comment about that, if you're interested in that kind of topic. If there will be like a lot of interest, then I can also make all those e-sys using manuals in English. It's not a problem for me. So let's go to the coding. So first things first, let's connect the interface into the car. Usually the OBD socket in BMW is located somewhere there. It depends on the series, but you'll definitely find it there. If you are like a really experienced user, you can also find it just not even looking there, but connecting to the right place already. I'm using the Wi-Fi connection with the ICOM Nano. It's really convenient to work. So what we have to do now, I have launched the e-sys together with the launcher. Without the special launcher, you'll be unable to go inside the ECU in order to change all those parameters. So we need to connect to that car. I'll select the all series, and as you can see, the whole list of different BMWs are able to connect. Because that's G20, we have to use connection type. I'll show you the S18. As you can see, the G20 should be present here. That small cheat sheet, yes, G20 is here, so that's the right connection type. The IP address is that one, and reading from VCM, pressing connect. I'm covering all those details, why to press where in my e-sys manuals. And connection has been established. We are reading out the vehicle order, that's the step number 1. We are reading the ECUs, that's step number 2. And we can actually collapse the vehicle tree and open that again. So now the difference come into play. Basically on G series, the parameter that is responding for start-stop memory is located in the engine ECU. On F series, it's located in the ECU that's responsible for keys. Basically that will be the CAS system, FEM module or BDC ECU. But on G series, it's located in engine ECU, and we are sitting in the G series at the moment. G series engine ECU is called DME or DDE. It depends, is it diesel or gasoline? Actually, on the newer cars, it's everywhere called DME. On the older cars, DME is only for gasolines, but that's diesel. You go inside that, and actually it says we cannot assess that because that vehicle has just came from the dealership. They have updated with the newest software, and the databases on my computer, they are new one but not the newest one. I have to update one step up in order to be able to access those. I'll make the update off screen and we'll continue with the work. You always have to be prepared for everything. That's why I have my SSD external drive. I have all the latest databases installed there. So basically I'll just connect that to my computer and reassign the databases. Yes, that's a bit more advanced process. I will not cover in details how to make that, but that might be the topic one of the future videos. At the same time, while I'm changing the databases, the archive needs to be unpacked and so on. I'll tell you a bit about that car. Actually, that client already has visited me a couple months ago, and I have already disabled the startup system on his car. But now, today he called me and told, okay, Vladimir, you know, my start-stop system is not operating again. So I don't have the memory on that. Why does it happen? I asked him, did you visit the BMW dealership? And he answered, yes. That's because on G20 there is a problem with the side mirrors. Those ECUs need to have been exchanged, and after exchanging the ECUs, the dealer has to reprogram. Yes, the information about those mirrors is not located in the engine ECU, but dealer cannot reprogram or recode only one ECU. They can do all the car together. That's why that car, it was even chip tuned before, and it lost his chip tuning because of the software update. The plus side of the software update, that the owner saw that a lot of smaller changes happened in the car. Basically, multimedia works better. There is no more problems with the mirrors, and communication with the car works better. And he also noticed that the work of the transmission is better, and so on. So that's why actually the software update is really necessary, and you have to do that. It's absolutely must. But you have to be aware. But after the full software update, you will lose all your previous codings and chip tuning and all that stuff. That's why I recommend you to update the software first, and only after that make all different changes. For example, on some models for BMW, the CarPlay. Actually, I have the video about the CarPlay on my channel already. You can see that. If your old software inside the car is old, you cannot have the CarPlay on the full screen. You can have only the half screen, and if you update the software, it becomes possible to activate to the full screen. That's a good example why you need to update the software. But now let's continue with our topic and code out the startup system. So I have exchanged the databases. Let's continue with the topic. Basically, if you haven't updated your car and your databases, basically the database inside the computer have to be newer than the databases in the car, and there will be no problem with the connection. So let's connect to S18 again. As you can see, now the software is 2111. Before that it was, I guess, 2107. Let's connect. Yes, and we got the connection. Reading out the vehicle order, reading out the ECU, and exactly all the same information applies. Basically, we have to go inside the engine ECU, that's DME, go inside that and read coding data. And now you can see it was able to read out. Basically, I had not made any other changes except updating the databases to a more newer one. Now we can go inside the ECU. Basically, the parameter we need is called Msa Memory. This is the option that is responsible for the start-stop system. Without the launcher for the e-sys, you cannot go inside the ECU. That was what I was talking about. Basically, without the launcher, sometimes you can go even inside, but it will be not decoded anything here. You can just see maybe the dots, or you will be not unable to go inside the ECU at all. So you will be not finding that parameter. That's why launcher is important. Now what we should do, have to go there, and at the moment you can see it's off. We have to make it on. After that we have to save and go back. Now it's very important part. You can do all the codings while the engine is working, except the coding of the engine ECU. For coding the engine ECU, because that's G series, you have to turn on the ignition. For turning on the ignition, you have just like to turn off the car and 3 times quickly press the start-stop button. It looks like that. So 3 times without pressing the brake pedal, you just press the start-stop. 1, 2, 3. Really quick one. Now the dashboard is highlighted and we can continue coding safely. We will just press code and the car will be coded. The coding is a really quick process. We don't need additional power supply for that because it's really quick. So it takes sometimes seconds, maybe 1 minute, not longer. If you'll be programming the car, it will take a lot of time. As you can see, everything is green, that's good, red is bad, 0 errors. It means everything is coded. Now we can check if the system is working as we expect it to work. Let's test now. We'll start the car. I will turn off the start-stop system. As you can see, the light is on now. It means the system is disabled. I will shut the car down. It remains disabled. I will start the car and it is disabled. It shows that we have memory. And for your convenience also, if you turn off the system, turn on the system is on when the light is not light up. You can also start off, shut down the car and start the car again. So basically, as you can see, the memory is active. And that's it. You have seen how simple it is. You have to just have the right tools and know where to go and what to do. If you have liked that video, press like. If you didn't like, press a dislike. Also subscribe if you still haven't do that, and see you in the future. Bye.